We'll start with some opening comments from Coach, and then we can take questions.
Yeah, what an incredible environment to play in here. I grew up in Lone Tree, Iowa, right outside Iowa City, and never been to Madison to play a game. Very first Wisconsin player I think I remember was Wesley Matthews. It was crazy that he was here tonight, played for Steve Yoder. What an incredible fans, great team. You know, we got off to a great start. It really helped us. When you went on the road, you got to get off to a great start on offense, and we shot it well. We shot it well for pretty much the entire game. But they put us in a lot of problems. You know, Chucky Hepburn had a heck of a game. He made some incredibly tough shots. We had a hard time guarding them in the post. So we played them one-on-one, then we doubled them. And when we doubled them, they made threes. You know, we just got enough stops, you know, at the end of the game to win it. Incredible resiliency by Ty Appleby. You know, he had a heck of a game. And we lost a game like this about a week ago to Loyola Marymount. We didn't foul. Came down. They made a three. We went overtime and lost. We tried to foul this time twice. Actually, the second time, I think Chucky thought we were going to foul, and he threw it up there. But it's a great win for our program. I know this is a really hard place to play. I have an unbelievable amount of respect for this program and Coach Gard and the past. And so I walk out of here with a lot of pride for Wake Forest winning here tonight.
Take a question. There are microphones on each side. Can flag them down if you have a question. Abby in the back.
Coach, your guys limited Wisconsin to just 22 points in the paint, despite Stephen Crowley's while being pretty dominant front court. How much of that was your game plan, and how much did it contribute to your win?
I think that's why we won, but that was the hard part. Like, there were some times they had their way in there, you know, and then we tried to play them one-on-one in the post. And then we went to double team, and we caught monster. And we got some good plays, but then what happens when you do that? You have to rotate out, and they're good passers and cutters. They're really good at cutting off the ball. And so they found the open man and got a couple threes. So we just tried to keep them off balance, kind of like baseball. If you're a good pitcher, you got to do what? You got to change speeds. You know, you can't throw a fastball every time. And so we just tried to keep them off balance enough to where we could get one more stop. And we did at the end. And it actually ended up Matthew Marsh, our big guy, guarded Wall in the post and kind of forced him to miss.
Ty, you had a couple of big threes at the end, but you were also getting your way inside. Coming into this game, what was your mentality against defense? How opponents won 40% from the
all throughout the week, we just practice, sharing the ball because they like to pack in the paint a lot. So just passing the ball, sharing the ball, get open shots, just get everybody going and, don't force too many shots. But I think my teammates, they would set me up for, great positions. We had some great play calls that got me inside, got me going. So that's about it.
Because of his quickness, his ability to do things on the outside, inside.
It's kind of a give and take, right? I mean, no offense, he's a small little dude. And they got some bigger guys, but he plays to his strengths, and we can play fast. We have to score. And I felt like we had to be in the 70s to win the game. And I know only one team that got above 60, and that was Kansas in overtime, right? So I was worried about how we were going to score the ball. I wasn't so worried about how we were going to guard them. I figured, we'll figure it out, but could we score? And he got us off to a great – he got inside their defense. And they changed defense. They changed the way they guarded him too, ball screens, and he did a good job of reading that. Like sometimes when they're in the drop, you got to get in there and you got to come off of it early and kick it and make a three. And we did that early, and then they edged, and then he got around, and they might have switched. Just all the credit to him for just always staying in attack mode, and being a guy that's plays with a lot of confidence.
Abby,
Tyree, you had 11 straight points to make it a 1-point game with 5 minutes to go. How big do you think your little run right there was in the hump to turn the momentum?
We came in the huddle, off the media, coach told us, he said, we just got to calm down and we're going to get back in this game. So, that little, the 11 points scoring, I think it just, comes, playing hard, playing with confidence, knocking down the shots. He always tells us, if you think it's a good shot, they think it's a great shot. So, just credit to our coaches and my teammates.
Coach, Wisconsin's trio of Wall, Hepburn, and Crawl combined for a season-high scoring output tonight. What did you see from that trio, and kind of how did you try to?
They shot with a lot of confidence. Chucky made some big-time shots. One at halftime, I almost threw up. I was like, you gotta be kidding me, Wall's a problem. He's so hard to guard. He's so physical, and he's a little unorthodox. So you foul him a lot, and you're maybe not even trying to. And then, hey, listen, we knew Crown could shoot threes, okay? But sometimes it's just give and take, man. You can't take some things. You just can't take it all away. You hope that he maybe misses a couple of those, but he did it. And I told him that after the game. It's a heck of a game. He played great, and those guys are really good players. And hopefully for them, it'll give them confidence offensively. Now that we're done playing, I don't want to give them any more confidence, but maybe they'll play with more confidence too. Because they played with a lot tonight. Obviously, you're playing at home in this incredible environment. I must tell you though, we were staying at the Sheraton, and I thought the arena was across the street, and it obviously wasn't. I said, well, I don't know what that is across the street from Sheraton. That's like a hockey rink or something. But I thought that's what we were playing. I thought the bus driver got lost. I yelled at him, and he said, "No, we're going down to the Cole Center." I said, "Oh, damn." But those guys are really good players, man. Well coached. I recruited Connor. Connor visited us in, Wisconsin, and I think the world of him. I think he's going to be a great player for you too.
Coach Ty, congrats on the win. Tyree obviously started, but Hildreth on Sunday in March. Huge plays down the stretch. Can you speak to the lift that they gave, and how you get juice from other guys stepping up?
I think we got a lot of players, that can score the ball. So we don't just lean on me, every time. They make some big time plays and some big time moments, but that's like the normal. We think they can do that 24/7 all the time, and we just came out there and got the win. Too happy right now, sorry.
All right, one last thing. I am from a small town right outside of Iowa City, 10 miles, and my school fight song is on Wisconsin. All right. So that. Don't be mad at me. That's our school fight song.
Coach, a question for you. Early in the game, Cam Hildreth you had that matchup against Max Carson. It seemed like you guys were trying to focus on that matchup. He had a couple of early points. Were you anticipating that coming into the game, or was that something?
I think when you run a motion, you take advantage of the matchups, right? We run plays, and we ran a bunch tonight, but we also run motion. It's not Bobby Knight motion. It's more drive, kick, swing, spacing, drive it. But we do take advantage of certain things, and I think when any of them have an opportunity they feel like they could take advantage of, then they do it, and I give them a lot of confidence on offense. They'll tell you that. I tell them all the time, if you shoot a ball and look over at me, you're playing for the wrong coach. You got to play with some swag, especially on the road. And so, I don't know if it was like planned, but we knew who we could go at and who and how we could do it. And Cam did a good job. But they did a good job too. They came in and stripped him and ripped him a few times too, and he turned it over. We had 15 turnovers, so it's not like they didn't do a good job.
Time for one more. Back.
I know your guards are typically your leading scorers, but your forwards were pretty limited offensively. Do you think that was because they were more focused on the defensive matchups with Wall and Crowell, or do you think Wall and Crowell were just doing a good job on that?
I think they did a great job limiting them. But you got to understand, I have very young bigs. Zach Keller's a freshman. Matthew Marshall's a sophomore. Davion Bradford's a sophomore. Bobby Clipman's a freshman. And Andrew Carr's a sophomore. And my fives didn't miss a shot. I'll take that every time. Now it's by committee, 3 of them. But I think those guys are really good players. And so I didn't have any expectations that they would come in here and dominate those guys. But I felt like we held our own in there. And then on the last possession, when we really needed to hold our own, Matthew Marsh put his chest on Wall, and he forced him to miss. And we got the rebound. So it was wild. We should have had it, and then it got tipped. But I think those guys are really good players. I have a lot of respect for them.
Thanks, Coach.
We're gonna We have time for a couple questions on Zoom if anyone has one. Sorry, guys.
Steve, can you hear me okay, Steve?
I can hear you.
One of the knocks that you had when resume time came around last year was that you didn't get a win such as this one. How good of a feeling is it to know that you have this feather in your cap? And how big do you think it is, a challenge like the ACC Big Ten Challenge? I don't know if you just saw over your shoulder, Virginia just held on against Michigan, for the league to get wins like this.
Man, I think it's good for our narrative, but it doesn't. We have to win these games and we have to move on. We have 20 league games left. We haven't even started yet, but yeah, I think it's something that we'll have in our pocket, at the end of the year that we need, that we didn't have last year, and that hurt us when it came down to selection Sunday. So very proud of them, told them that it was a marquee win, non-conference win for us, but we still got a lot of league left on the bone.
Steve, obviously you've got Ty there next to you, and he played a terrific game. But how good do you feel about the fact that so many pieces and parts of your team contribute to this win? It kind of it seemed like everybody doing their part down the stretch.
It was a team win, and my teams have always had a lot of balance. We had great balance again tonight. Took everybody. We played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, about 9 guys. They all played great minutes. And that's who we are. That's the way it's going to be for the rest of the year. And so very proud of every one of them for, doing a great job.
Ty, by my count, it's your first 30-point game since back in Cleveland State days. When did you feel like tonight was going to click for you?
I think I just let the game just, flow, as it, goes, Coach kept calling plays, and I just kept making the right reads.
It was unbelievably great play call. We're going to go now because these people are going to get upset. So.
Sorry, guys.
Good job, Bruce Arians.